Hi, I'm Jody.
And I'm Mariah.
And this is Beargrass Thunder.
And we're talking to Miss Shameka Parrish-Wright, running for Louisville Mayor.
My name is Shameka Parrish-Wright. I am running to be your next Louisville Mayor in 2022. I was the first to announce because I knew I had the biggest journey. We have not seen progressive leadership that I would bring, and I know I need to get out there to change hearts and minds and also be a part of solutions and using our progressive campaign to shift what we see in Louisville happening. Too many people have been ignored, and it's time for change. I represent that change. Thank you.
Ms. Shameka, thank you so much for sitting down with us for this interview. We are so excited for your campaign, and I want to hear more about your Changes platform.
So when I talk about changes, and I can just use change, and I think that's used a lot, but I mean it in a real way. So I looked at the acronyms and I said, what do we need to tell the people of Louisville that they deserve? I've been telling people in this campaign, we deserve better and we get there together. And what does that look like? So changes means we can feel them. I should be able to know a difference in the next administration by walking through my door, by the way I get to work, by the way I have access to resources. And so the first word has to be community. Like you, I love Louisville. And I love community, and I want it to be the best that it can be. After a worldwide health pandemic and racial uprising, our next mayor must be able to unify our city to foster new economic growth and prosperity for everyone, not just some. With me as your next mayor, you get 2 firsts with 1 vote. Louisville needs a people's mayor who knows the struggles of families to make ends meet, who also knows what it's like to be treated with dignity no matter who you are or your background or your social status. Electing the first black woman mayor of Louisville, Kentucky is exactly what we need to move forward together. I'll work very hard for folks from the West End to St. Matthews, from Fern Creek to PRP, and everywhere in between, because I have been every Louisvillian. Our community is in desperate need of healing and unity as we look ahead. I have locked arms in the streets and the halls of power with folks from all over Louisville, cultivating solutions for all of us. With my leadership, Louisville can become a thriving community it deserves to be, a thriving city it needs to be. I believe that housing is a human right. As someone who has been houseless before, I understand in a way that no other candidate possibly can what it means to be housing insecure. Every zip code and every person in Jefferson County should have an affordable rentals and opportunities for home ownership. Our houseless folks come from a variety of backgrounds, and with the lingering impacts of this pandemic, we must be inclusive and offer tangible solutions. Residents' voices should be heard from all major development decisions involving new policies and projects at the local level. Policy improvements that must include home ownership programs, repair programs, rental assistance programs, and related educational efforts. I will advocate for quality jobs, support union rights, robust educational opportunities, stronger transportation infrastructure, and social services with adequate mental and physical health supports. As we lift up the least of us, we'll all rise a little higher. We will do so by reimagining public health, criminal justice, and policing, and moving forward towards livable wages for all working families. As Louisville's next mayor, I will work to restructure our budget to ensure we fund what works for our youth, our seniors, our millennials, every generation deserves to have those opportunities, and that includes our Louisville Metro government employees, entrepreneurs, and anyone that is working to improve our infrastructure. I will find creative solutions to fill in the gaps and work hard to prevent layoffs for our public servants. Nurturing every neighborhood is how I will reimagine public safety, mitigate gun violence, and create equitable solutions. As Louisville prepares to create a co-responder model based on input from community members, leaders, and experts, I will work to establish and fund neighborhood trauma response units for every neighborhood and small city that desires it. These units will employ representatives from each community that will go through extensive de-escalation and racial trauma training, along with addiction and adverse childhood experience certification. They will be paired with social workers, legal, and mental health professionals that have direct access to nurses, medical assistants, and emergency shelter. We are all better when those who are most vulnerable are cared for. I will work with the community agencies to reopen the living room program or any program like it, making sure it is staffed and funded and operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Access to internet must be for everyone. I will work to make sure broadband access is available for all working families in every community. Mayoral appointees matter. From our police chief to TARC to the Department of Air Pollution and Control and more, we need leaders that are accountable, accessible, and loyal to the communities they serve. We need the best and most diverse appointees to every board and commission. Programming in community centers combats violence and builds community. As mayor, I will advocate for free sports, martial arts, and yoga lessons offered every week. I support community swimming pools and will keep them open, fully staffed. We need at least 4 to 6 community centers in the south, east, west, and downtown that are open 24 hours and are able to turn into respite and triage centers after 9 p.m. Most of them have kitchens and bathrooms and need to be staffed with people from the community who are paid livable wages. Grassroots community organizing is where I began my journey. I learned that top-down leadership does not work, but when we all work together, we can get the job done. I bring the people's voice to the table, and I work to maintain Louisville's autonomy. Education is vital to that. Education is vital to a thriving city, and we need a fierce advocate for our students, teachers, and administrators who understand the issues and will work towards eradicating barriers. As mayor, I am committed to working with the superintendent, board of education, and educational stakeholders to tackle the opportunity and achievement gaps that the pandemic has not only exacerbated but made it harder for a great deal of our young people. We need to focus on each child that lives both in and outside of the classroom to ensure that they have the support, the systems that they need, and to learn and succeed. I will continue that support for the programs that are already working, like Evolve 502, Summer Works, 15,000 Degrees, and 55,000 Degrees. I'll support lifelong learning for all Louisvillians who are working towards continued self-improvement. I will support raises for educators and fight for our teachers in Frankfort, like I always have. I will help to increase the minimum wage and workers' rights. Our environment matters. Air quality impacts all of us. We must meet with air pollution members to identify companies that are affected by air quality and implement measures to regulate them. All of this makes us create a sustainable community, a sustainable city. Sustainable and equitable solutions that ensure success for all Louisvillians must be a priority as we move forward. As mayor, I know that we can't do that without supporting urban agriculture, encouraging more community gardens, tree planting, reducing heat islands, and making sure that transportation is desirable so that people can choose to leave their cars at home. Mom to mayor means I understand the importance of affordable and safe neighborhoods, and I'll work with the community stakeholders to get there together. I have long been a supporter of the arts, culture, and entertainment communities, and will continue to create private-public partnerships to ensure their sustainability as part of bringing life and helping us heal. Ideas from the community I will also give as I respond to your questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shameka. On behalf of Beargrass Thunder, we cannot thank you enough for leading the charge in this campaign. We really appreciate your time in this interview. And is there anything else you'd like to say to plug your campaign or plug your next event?
Or anything you would like to say directly to our fans or anything like that?
I would be remiss if I didn't mention the things that Louisvillians have been asking me for that I want to work on as mayor. Push for Louisville to be a nationally known city for the arts. Push for the city to join Major League Soccer teams. Grants for local businesses to become venues. Speakers and copyright licenses needed. Foodie Tours. Return to trolleys and modern streetcars. Olmsted Park hiking and historical tours. Improve public transit, which we talked about a lot. And our airport was already set up for light rail, so let's get that busy. And our airport in downtown. Legalization of cannabis and medical marijuana and dispensaries, and with decriminalization so that more people have opportunities to earn monies from that. New national ad campaign with tourism ideas that take people not only downtown, not only the Bourbon Trail, but through all our amazing communities. Louisville is beautiful, and more people need to see that and stay. We want people to come here and stay, and that is the way you get them to do that. Affordable home ownership in every zip code, universal early childhood education. All my kids survived it. I think everyone should have it, no matter what your income bracket is. And increased recycle pickup is something that has come up along the board. If you have more ideas, ShamekaParrish-Wright.com. Give us your ideas. Let's get moving.